Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Okay. Dave has not yet joined, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So what we'll do today is any doubts in straight lines and pair of straight lines plus, then we'll go ahead and go to circles. What is happening in your Allen class?
Alan, so currently test this Wednesday.
What?
We're gonna have a test this Wednesday.
Uh-huh. All that
S-
is the same syllabus, no?
yeah, that's work, power, energy, and friction in physics. And in maths, we have trigonometry and solutions of triangles half. And I told you the syllabus in chemical bonding. So
Mm.
that's what. And in chemistry, our teacher started gas laws. I think there are two sessions over for gas laws. So he's on Charles' law right now.
He's
And
starting. He is not
yeah,
yet done.
no, they just started. Like he's on Charles' law right now.
Okay. They have
And
not
they,
done thermodynamics, no?
no, they didn't do thermodynamics, and that's in the third module. So after this, they will do thermodynamics.
Okay. And in maths, what are they doing?
In maths, we started SOT, so he's halfway through the chapter. Like he has MN theorem to do to reach halfway through the chapter. After that, there's pedal triangle and all that
Mm.
the stuff left. That's basically the exercise 37 part of SL is left,
Mhm.
and the exercise 36 part has been completed. And those half angle formulas and stuff is done.
Okay, so that half of that will come in the test, right? That
Yeah,
half.
so that till that MN theorem part will come in the test. So basically exercise 36 is coming in the test. So I'll just solve it before the test. Right now I'm just solving the homeworks is given.
Hmm. It is fine, no? There's no problem, right?
Yeah, there's no problem. It's only at least the first half of the chapter is only application of the formula, so it's not really hard.
Do the Allen exercise before the test.
I'm
Uh,
already doing it.
hmm. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the next few classes.
So can we discuss that work power energy question I sent?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
1 second.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
A spring of unstretched spring of this one, no?
yeah. The spring of uncertain length L has a mass m with one fixed.
Okay. Unstretched length is L, mass M with one end fixed to a rigid support. So M. Okay, assuming spring to be made of a uniform wire, kinetic energy possessed by it if its free end is pulled has a mass m with one end fixed to a rigid support. Okay, if its free end is pulled with a uniform velocity v. Oh, spring, there is no mass of block. The spring itself has mass.
All right.
The spring
Even I
itself
wasn't able to understand this part. That's why I had a confusion.
so this is the free end. Spring has
Okay,
mass m,
okay.
and now it is pulled with velocity v, and
Hmm.
it is made of a uniform wire, and kinetic energy possessed by it if its free end is pulled with velocity v. Okay. Unstretched length is L. Okay. So kinetic energy possessed by it. Okay. That is weird because at what moment is he asking for
Yeah,
the
I didn't like the first mistake I made was I didn't understand he's talking about the mass of the spring itself, and I didn't like understand. So
at what moment is he asking the kinetic energy is the main thing.
I think he's probably asking after he's pulled it, but there is no limit to till where he can pull it, right?
He must be asking right now only. Right now he's pulling it at V. What is the kinetic energy, right?
But
That will be okay. So velocity of this end is 0, right?
right,
Because it is fixed.
right,
And velocity of this end is v, right?
yeah,
So it is varying linearly like this, right?
correct.
You have to find center of mass as velocity,
Oh, okay.
right? And velocity
Yeah,
is varying linearly from 0 to v, right?
correct.
Over a length of L,
Yeah,
right? So at L by 2, it will be v by 2.
yes.
So center of mass is moving with v by 2,
Hmm.
right? So half into m into v square by 4. Is there an option like that?
No, that's we're
And
getting mv square by 8. The options are the right answer is 1 by 6 mv square.
1 second. Velocity of that end is v. 1 by 6 mv square is the kinetic energy possessed by it. Okay, I think we have to do an integration properly. We have to do it. So we'll not assume this. Okay, this is obviously wrong because velocity is varying.
Yeah.
So kinetic energy of any mass element, do it properly. Like take a
So
mass
mass
element at a
element.
distance x, thickness dx, right?
Yeah, so m by l dx, x dx.
dm is equal to m by l dx.
Correct.
And kinetic energy will be half into dm into velocity at this portion, right?
Right.
Velocity at this portion will be v by l into x.
But then he says we are pulling it with uniform
uh,
velocity. So
that is
won't.
the free end is being pulled with velocity
Okay,
v.
so velocity won't remain uniform throughout.
Yeah, it won't, because
Okay.
velocity will be 0 at fixed end,
Hmm.
and it is increasing slowly as you go closer to the free end.
Right.
This
Right.
end will be pulled with a higher speed, no, because you are pulling it here. This end is still
Yeah, yeah.
stationary.
Correct. Understood. Yeah.
So velocity of
So,
each
and yeah.
portion will be dependent on, it's a linear graph like this. 0
Hmm.
to, it is reaching the velocity v at the point L, right? So
Correct.
slope is v by L, no?
Hmm.
V by L into x is the velocity at a distance x from the end, right? So
Right.
kinetic energy is half dm into v square, which is v square by L square x square, right? And
Yeah.
dm is equal to m by L into v square by L square x square dx, right? So this becomes half 1 by 2 mv square by L cube comes out, and you have to integrate this x square dx from 0 to L,
0 to L. Yeah.
right? So x cube by 3, so L cube by 3 will come. So it becomes mv square by 6,
Oh, understood.
right? So basically what is
Yeah.
happening is that spring is like this. This is the free end. It is moving with v, but this is the fixed end. So it is having velocity 0. But every portion of the spring is moving with a different speed. So if you
Correct.
take a x distance and a dx thickness here, right?
Hmm.
So this this portion speed should be what? It should be speed gradient. This is average change in speed
Hmm.
into x distance.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
portion's kinetic energy dke will be half into m by L dx into v by L into x whole square, and you integrate that
Yeah.
0 to L, you'll get
Understood.
mv square by 6.
Hmm.
So that is it. So this was
Yeah. Okay.
spring.
I didn't understand the first one. Like I thought of it as a mass M attached to the
No, then you
like,
cannot understand the setup only.
yeah, that so that's why I asked because like I wasn't getting I thought I'm not getting the basic because thinking of this part was like a second step. I couldn't understand if there's a attached mass or we're talking about the mass of the spring itself.
Yeah, yeah. So this is in work per energy has been finished in school in Allen.
Alan, work by energy. Yeah, he finished last class, but I think he rushed through it like very quick. He finished in 3 lectures.
Okay. Okay, but make sure that you before the test, if it is coming in the test, revise your HCV last 15 questions.
Yeah, I'll revise the last 15. Okay, I'll just solve them. Yeah.
Last 15, 20, the difficult ones, you should see the HCV book, and then Alan obviously exercises and all.
Yeah. Exercises, I'm almost done. I'm like in the unit exercise right now.
Uh,
So
but the last few ones, no, the difficult ones in HCV, you should do that.
yeah, I'll try them. I'll try them like tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Okay, where is Dev?
I don't know.
He have class now. Yes, he is surprised. He knew about the schedule, no?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I
Uh,
wrote it on the group as well.
yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is you have any doubts in straight lines?
No, not really.
So after that, you have to attempt the straight line Allen book and whatnot, right?
Yeah, I'll attempt it.
After
Uh,
Wednesday, do it.
yeah, I'll do it after Wednesday.
So we'll start circles today.
Yeah.
We'll wait for one
uh,
minute for him.
Yeah, I'll get my book as well. Sir, I had one doubt in rotation also. If we could discuss it at the end of the class.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
What is the doubt?
I was going through the torque section, so he had given four different ways of analyzing torque.
Hmm.
So the third way I did not understand.
Uh, you can sort of ignore that part because
Oh,
it
okay.
is unnecessarily complicated. You
Yeah,
should
I tried understanding it twice, but like I read it twice, but I couldn't
you can just think of it as this,
understand what
and
he's exactly trying to say.
every time torque is always this. So just follow that.
Sir,
R
I missed.
cross
Yeah.
Sir, I'm late. What did I miss?
nothing. It's fine. We are waiting for you only.
No, actually, there was no message on the group, so I just got to know.
There was message, dude. The classes timings you have seen, no, the new timetable that we have agreed upon.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right, sorry.
So it is
I
Friday and
Monday,
Monday, and what is the third class?
Saturday.
Tomorrow morning was supposed to be a class, but tomorrow not
Yeah,
morning. I
yeah.
think
You
it was supposed to be in the it was supposed to be in the
supposed to be in
morning.
the morning. You told that you're not free tomorrow morning.
Yeah, yeah. So tomorrow's class we'll reschedule. Next week onwards it will be at the same time.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
so yeah. Uh, okay, what we'll do is we'll start circles. So circles is chapter 8 SL only, chapter 8 and chapter 9. So what we will try to do right now is do as much of the theory as possible. Uh, Main thing is to be able to solve SL only in this. It will be, if you look at the exercises, some of the last exercises in SL only in this chapter will be quite tough. Okay, so the idea is to get to a stage where we can do that. So let's begin. Dev, are you here?
yes, sir, I'm in.
Okay. So this equation we have seen in the context of pairs of straight lines, right?
Yeah.
And we saw that this equation, if del was equal to 0, it is a straight line pair, right?
Right.
And if del is not equal to 0, right? It could be anything. It could be circle, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola. Correct? Now, what we will do here is we will do the case when it is a circle. So this 2-degree equation can be a circle if del is not equal to 0 first of all, and then circle conditions are a is equal to b and h is equal to 0. Okay, so you
Yeah.
need to know that this is the condition for a circle. We'll see the derivation, so it will be clear. So let's take that particular case when a is equal to b and h is equal to 0. So what is my equation becoming? Ax square plus ay square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, right? Correct. I have put a is equal to b and h is equal to 0, right? So then equation can be written as x square plus y square plus 2g by ax plus 2f by ay plus c by a is equal to 0. Correct?
Yeah.
So now what I will do is I will complete the square. So like this and this, right? This looks like a term which can be made into a perfect square, right?
Hmm.
So it can be written as x plus g by a whole square plus y plus f by a whole square, and you have to subtract g square by a square and subtract f square by a square, right?
Yes.
Correct? So you get an equation x plus g by a whole square plus y plus f by a whole square is equal to g square plus f square minus c by a minus c a by a square, right?
Yes.
Correct. So this has come from the same equation if a is equal to b and h is equal to 0, right?
Correct.
Now notice that this is like distance formula of x comma y, right? X comma y from minus g by a and minus f by a, right?
Correct. Correct.
This is distance of x comma y from minus g by a and minus f by a would be what? X minus minus g by a whole square plus y minus minus f by a whole square, right?
Yeah.
So basically this is saying that distance of x comma y from this point is equal to a constant term.
Yeah.
So basically x comma y is equidistant from this point. If x comma y is variable, it will be all the points on that locus will be at the same distance from this point, no?
Correct.
Correct.
Because this left hand side is equal to constant term, right? Are you
Yes.
understanding?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So you are getting x plus g by a whole square plus y plus f by a whole square is equal to g square plus f square minus ac by a square. So this is a constant term. Therefore, if I put the point minus g by a comma minus f by a in the xy plane, then all points such that this is say x comma y such that the distance is equal to root over g square plus f square minus ac by a square is the distance of xy x comma y from minus g by a to minus f by a, right? So this is a circle of radius, this value centered around this point, right? Radius is this.
Yeah.
Basically, it is becoming like a x square plus y square is equal to a square. This is a circle centered at the origin and radius is a, right? Because this is just simply distance formula from the origin, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So here it is distance formula from this point. So what we get is that ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 if del is not equal to 0, a is equal to b, h is equal to 0. It is a circle, it's a circle centered at minus g by a minus f by a with radius g square plus f square minus ac by a. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically this tells us, and anyway we know the meaning of a circle. Circle is a set of points whose equidistant from a fixed point. Set of points equidistant from a fixed point, right?
Correct.
So this is fitting that definition, no? Fixed point is called the center, right? And
Yep.
the distance that it is from a center is called the radius, right? So this fits that definition. Now, in general, what we do is we will write a standard equation. The standard equation of a circle is taken in the
X
case,
minus A.
standard equation of the circle will be taken as when a coefficient will be called 1. So the equation is such that a coefficient you will assume as 1. So the equation will become x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0.
Hmm.
This is the standard equation. Basically, if a is 1, my center will become minus g minus f. And
Correct.
radius will become root over g square plus f square minus c. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look at the standard equation briefly. This is the standard equation of a circle. So if I simplify it, it is obvious how it comes. This and this complete the square, x plus g whole square plus y plus f whole square minus g square minus f square plus c is equal to 0. So you get x plus g whole square plus y plus f whole square is equal to g square plus f square minus c, right? So this is the radius square, this is the center. Center comes as minus g and minus f,
Yeah.
right? Center is minus g comma minus f. Radius is root over g square plus f square minus c. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Everyone is getting it. No? Why the locus is a circle? What is the meaning? How did we get the center and radius? Right?
Yeah.
This process of perfect completing the square is super important. Anyway, whenever you see something like this, you should think of, okay, maybe this can be a perfect square, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Normal equations of circles could also be written directly in this form. You could also see equations like this: x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to c square, right? This means circle
This we
having
did in the
center
first chapter.
AB center and radius is C, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So actually this is the same as this, right? It's not like anything different. Just minus G is equal to A and minus F is equal to B. And this part is equal to C, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is the definition of a circle. Then there are different types of circles now. We can have some special cases where if g square plus f square minus c is equal to 0, right? Then it is a point circle, or basically it's just a single point. Basically radius is 0, right?
Hmm.
Like if this term disappears, then the perfect square sum can be 0 only if it is that point itself, right?
Yeah.
X is minus g and y is minus f, right?
Right.
So that is called sometimes a point circle. In case this g square plus f square minus c is less than 0, right? Then there is no real circle possible, right? So there is an imaginary circle.
Correct.
Like circle is not real, right?
Yeah.
Because sum of squares cannot be negative in real numbers, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Correct. So there is an imaginary radius here, and we will study complex numbers, then that will be clear. But for now, there is no real circle if it is less than 0, right?
Hmm.
Then we come to some other versions. Some other versions. So right now we are at article 145 now.
145.
Hmm.
Okay. So we started
Article,
from 138, right?
yeah. So all of that is done.
Hmm.
138 is definition. All of that we already know. Uh, 145 we are at. So article 145 is saying to find the equation of a circle, which is described on the line joining, x1 y1 and x2 y2 as a diameter. Line joining x1 y1 and x2 y2 as a diameter. So what is the meaning of this? So suppose you have 2 points, x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2, right? And if you join this line, x2 comma y2, join this line, right? If this line is a diameter, that means center must be midpoint, right?
Yeah.
Circle must be something like this,
Correct.
right? So you can get the equation of a circle in multiple ways. Let's say there is a variable point here, right? You can get the equation of a circle in multiple ways here. One way
Yeah,
is
make
to
it radius also.
we know everything. We know the center
Yeah.
also. Center will be midpoint. So midpoint will be x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2, right?
Yeah.
And radius will be half of the distance between them, right?
Hmm.
Correct.
Plus y2 minus y1 whole square, right?
Yeah.
And now locus of the circle will be x minus x1 plus x2 by 2 whole square plus y minus y1 plus y2 by 2 whole square is equal to radius square, which is 1 by 4 x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square, right? Correct? Something like this, no?
Correct.
What am I writing? I'm writing distance here is equal to radius, right?
Yes.
So distance of the point from the center is equal to the radius. So distance square is equal to radius square, right?
Yeah.
This is one way to do it, but the equation looks very long and horrible here, right? Another way, a nicer way to do it is knowing that angle in a semicircle is 90 degree.
Yeah.
So this angle will be 90 degree, right? This is a property of circle, geometric property, right?
Yeah.
So slope of this line into slope of this line should be -1, right?
Yeah.
Product of the slopes of these two lines should be -1
Yeah.
because angle in a semicircle is 90. So product of this slope and this slope. So y1 minus y by x1 minus x multiplied by y2 minus y by x2 minus x should be -1, right?
Yes.
This can be written as y minus y1, y minus y2 plus x minus x1, x minus x2 is equal to 0. y1 minus y and y2 minus y is same as this, and I have brought it to that side and then brought it here, right?
Yeah.
So this is a nice looking equation. If you have 2 points which are diametrically opposite to each other, then the equation is x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equal to 0, right?
Correct.
Two ways we can get it. This also, if you simplify it, it will come this only, but this is annoying to do. In case numbers are given, then maybe this is faster. If some number values are given for x2 y2 and x1 y1, this will be faster, right?
Yeah.
If some variables are given, then this is way better, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
This is article 145. Then what we'll see is what is the meaning of intercepts made by a circle on the axis. Basically both x and y intercepts. So the meaning of intercept is, so suppose you have a circle. right? Now notice that this circle is cutting the x-axis at 2 points, right?
Right.
So let's label it as P and Q, and it is cutting the y-axis at M and N, right? So there are
Hmm.
2 points where the circle cuts the x and the y-axis, right? So
Yeah.
the portion intercepts made by a circle means portion of the axis cut by the circle, by the 2 points where circle passes through, right? So in this case, my x-intercept will be PQ. The length of PQ is the x-intercept, and the length of MN is the y-intercept. So this whole portion, the length, is the portion of the line of the y-axis that was cut off by the circle, right?
Yes.
So that is the definition of x-intercept and y-intercept for a circle. Okay. So now we can easily find that value. So let's say center was here, right? Let's say equation of the circle was this. This is the most general equation of the circle, right?
Yeah.
Right? This is the most general equation of a circle. Now, if it cuts the x-axis, then y must be 0, right?
Correct.
So you get x square plus 2gx plus c is equal to 0, right?
Yeah.
So this has two roots. One root will be x1, one root will be x2, right?
Correct.
So sum of the roots is equal to minus 2g, and product of the roots is equal to c, right?
Correct.
So difference between the roots x1 minus x2 mod will be equal to root over 4g square minus 4c, right?
Yeah.
So 2 root g square minus c. This is the x-intercept.
Hmm.
Notice that we have not found the point. It doesn't matter. You don't have to find it, right?
Right.
You have to find the length, right?
Hmm.
Don't try to find it and then do it. It's unnecessary work, right?
Yeah.
You have the equation which gives roots as x1 and x2. So you need to only find difference between the roots, right?
Hmm.
Same thing you can do for the y-intercept. You can put x is equal to 0. You'll get the equation y square plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0, right? And the
Yeah.
two roots will be 0 comma y1 and 0 comma y2,
Yeah.
right? And the intercept, y-intercept, will come out to be 2 root f square minus c, and this comes out to be 2 root g square minus c, right?
Yeah.
That is this part, intercepts. So then we are done till exercise 1. So now
What about 140? Okay, that's example. Okay.
that's just an example. So right now what I want you guys to do is exercise number
27.
27.
No, not 27. It's 17.
17. Why don't you attempt question number 27 and 28? Question number 27 and 28. Try it right now.
Hmm.
Actually 27, 28 and 30. So again, while doing SL Noni, make sure that you are doing not repetitively same questions, but see that every type of question you are able to do, right? While attempting the exercises, make sure that you are reading every question carefully, and you are able to attempt every type, and you are able to do every type of question.
Right.
So try this one. You guys are attempting, no?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is happening in 27th?
In 27th, how I tried was I rolled the equation of the circle.
Touches
Mm,
both axes.
Yeah, so we get three equations in total. That is one which passes through the point -2, -3, one which passes through the point 0, y, and one which passes through the point x, 0.
No, so there is a difference between touches both axes, no?
Yeah, so if it touches both axes, then that means that, like, won't it mean that there's one point which is x, 0, and the other one would be,
Ah,
yeah, that's
but it
what I
is
was saying.
touching there, not cutting,
Yeah,
right?
so I'm not using it in the intercept equation. I'm using it in the general equation because it passes through that point.
Hmm.
So if we use it in the general equation, then we'll get one equation with the point -2, -3, and two more equations with those 2 points, 0, y, and x, 0. This is how I am trying it.
So don't take it as x first of all.
Okay.
X comma 0 you should not take. You should take p comma 0 and 0
Oh,
comma
okay.
q.
Okay. I'll change the convention then.
No, because x is the variable, no? Otherwise you will be confused.
So, okay, yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
equation variable, no? So
Yeah, but you can just take, okay, yeah, fine.
then it will be weird, no?
Yeah, it'll be,
So if you have that, then you have too many unknowns, I think.
yeah, that's where I got confused.
You have, I think, when you put p comma 0, you get p square plus 2gp plus c
We have about 5 variables
Hmm.
and only 3 equations.
Q square plus 2f q plus c is equal to 0, and you also have that 2 3 value in which there will be g, f, and c, right?
Yeah.
G, f, and c. So the thing is that you have two unknown conditions that you are not using right now
Mm,
because it is touching. No, the touching means actually if it was cutting, right, then there
yeah.
should be two roots, right?
Correct.
If it is touching, that there should be identical roots. No?
Oh, right.
So this quadratic is a
Uh,
perfect square,
right.
right?
Right. Right.
Otherwise, it cannot come.
Yeah.
If something cuts, that means there was two roots. If something touches, that means only one root, right?
Mm-hmm.
One root, but two identical roots.
Correct.
Same point.
And it's touching both the axes in a similar way.
Hmm.
Okay,
So
so both the equations will have 2 roots.
both these equations have
Will have
identical roots,
identical roots.
right? So that will mean that this has to be a perfect square, right? And this also has to be a perfect square.
Correct.
So
So
P term is handled. So C should be equal to G square, right? Right?
yeah.
And should also be equal to F square, right?
Yes.
So G is equal to F. You are getting G square is equal to F square.
Yeah.
So that can give you G is equal to plus minus F, right? Plus minus G and plus minus F, right?
Hmm.
Correct. Either
Yes.
G is equal to F or G is equal to minus F, right?
Correct. Minus G is equal to minus. Oh no, yeah, G is equal to minus F only. Yeah.
There are two conditions.
Correct. Correct.
Now use this third equation now.
Yeah.
And C is always G square. So C also becomes G square.
Yeah. So if we put the value in there, we get 13 minus 4G minus 6F plus C. So we can use. So we'll get basically two answers for that because you have to plug in two values of F.
But only one
G.
answer should make sense because it passes through third quadrant.
Okay. Right.
Like
Correct.
one of the answers will not make any sense.
Yeah. Because yeah. Understood. So I'll just try it once.
Hmm.
Minus 4F minus 6F plus G square is equal to 0. Minus 10F plus 13 is equal to 0. Uh,
Something you should get. You should
yeah,
get
I
that.
got two equations. One I got two quadratic equations in F,
Hmm.
but uh, I don't think like
One
any of
of them
them
will not have a solution. One of them will have.
both of I don't think any of them has. I got if I did it correctly, then I got f square minus 10f plus 13 and f square minus 2f plus 13. Okay, I'll just check it once. So give me 1 minute. If we put x is equal to minus 2 and minus 3, so this is correct. And if we put g is equal to minus f, so we get g is equal to f first. Minus 6f plus f square. So 13 minus 10f plus f square minus f square. Okay, and if we put it as minus, I'm getting the same thing.
You're getting these two equations. No.
Yeah,
This
I'm getting
doesn't have
this.
any roots.
Yeah,
So that's fine, no? This
yeah.
has roots.
Okay, I didn't use the formula yet. Yeah,
This has no real roots.
correct. It has no real roots.
And this has real roots. So you will get values now for F.
Yeah, and then we can find everything.
Yeah, that is there. But generally, This type of question you should do by drawing a figure. So
Yeah, I
touches
done
both
it.
axes, could be like this,
Hmm.
or could be
Any
like this,
quadrant. Any quadrant.
or could be like this. But in this case, it has to be this, right?
Yeah,
Because it is passing through third quadrant point,
correct.
right? Also, if it is touching here, this is tangent, right?
Yeah,
And this is origin, right?
yeah,
So from origin, equal tangents can be drawn, right?
yeah,
Equal length, this is equal length, this is equal length, right? And this is a radius, right? Correct?
correct.
So suppose
Yeah.
center was minus g minus f, right?
Hmm.
So this distance must have been f, right? Minus f or whatever, right?
Yeah,
But
Correct.
notice that this becomes a square because this is radius is equal to this radius, right?
correct.
Correct. So the
Hmm.
center immediately, because it is touching both the axes, this g is equal to f has come,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And both the values have to be in third quadrant, right?
correct.
And also radius is equal to also mod of this g, right?
Yeah,
Right. So my
correct.
equation can be immediately said to be uh, it will be x minus a whole square plus y minus a whole square is equal to a square, no?
Yeah,
This is the typical circle equation with a center and a radius.
right.
So now you put 2 3 here, minus 2 minus 3 passes through it, you'll get the value of a.
Yeah, okay, understood.
That will be the equation. So this is much better if you draw a figure and understand from there that if it touches both the axes, then this distance is equal to this distance is equal to this distance, right?
Right.
So this is clearly a square and
Yeah,
radius is going to be same, right?
yeah,
So some key things to remember, although algebraically also you could have done it, which is what
yeah,
I
but
told you.
make it longer. Yeah,
So some important things to know is if a circle touches the x-axis, right?
hmm.
Then what will it be like? Like this, right? So notice that perpendicular from the touching tangency point, this is the perpendicular, no?
Yeah,
If you connect center to the point of tangency, it should be perpendicular.
hmm.
So center, if it was some h comma k, right? Correct. This point must have been h comma 0, right?
Yeah,
And the radius must be equal to k.
yeah,
So if the circle touches the x-axis, its radius is the y coordinate of the center.
Correct.
Of the center, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Similarly, if it touches the y-axis, its radius should be x coordinate of the center.
yes,
X coordinate of center, right? And if it
yeah,
touches both axes, obviously what we just saw,
yeah,
radius is equal to x coordinate is equal to y coordinate of the center, right?
yeah,
So one more case that we could think of is if a circle passes through the origin, if a circle passes through the origin, then uh, then radius obviously is equal to distance of center from the origin, no? Center from the origin, right?
yeah,
Correct.
That makes sense, no? It is obvious. There is a circle passing through the origin. Then radius of the circle is the distance from HK to the origin, right? So
Yeah.
root over h square plus k square is the radius if HK is the center.
Yeah.
In this case, if you have a different situation, let's say it passes through the origin and cuts off intercept A and B on the x and y axis, right? Correct. So what is the situation now? It is passing through the origin and cutting off some intercepts, right?
Yeah.
So intercept length is A on the x-axis. So this distance is equal to A, right?
Correct.
And this distance is equal to B, correct?
Yeah.
So center will be, if you join this, right? Center should be midpoint of this right angle triangle,
Yeah.
midpoint of the hypotenuse,
Yeah.
because it is circumcircle of this triangle, no?
Correct.
There are 3 points, you see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So center has to be A by 2 comma B by 2,
Yeah.
because one point is A comma 0 and one point is 0 comma B.
Hmm.
So center is A by 2 comma B by 2 and radius will be equal to the distance of center from the origin, right?
Yeah.
From this point.
Yeah.
So radius will be equal to A square plus B square by 4,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
So
Correct.
a good way to do these types of questions is first draw a figure and see what geometrically you can figure out. So here we figured out the center is midpoint of the hypotenuse because it was a right angle triangle whose circumcircle you are drawing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So question number 28 is now obvious only.
Yeah.
So try it once.
Okay.
Question 28. Question 28 is circle which touches axis of x.
So if it touches the axis of x, that means that when we put y is equal to 0, the equation which comes is a perfect square.
That is true, but just now we have discussed another property that is better. Again, you are going back to the old property, but the new property you should also apply.
Hmm.
Draw the figure and see what happens when it touches, no?
Yeah, I'll try it right now. So it passes with the point 1, 1 comma minus 2. It okay. It's yeah. I got how it is. Okay, got it. Yeah, I got the same figure.
No, but the main thing to get is here that the radius is equal to the y coordinate of the
Correct.
center.
Yeah.
If hk is my center, equation of the circle is h minus h whole square, x minus h whole square, y minus k whole square is equal to k square.
Hmm.
Because it is touching axis of x, so this is the
Yeah.
radius, no, k.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now you can put 1 comma minus 2 and 3 comma minus 4. You have two variables and two equations,
Yeah.
right? Now it is
Yeah.
totally solvable. H and k are the variables and you have two equations.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, okay, so then this is done. We don't need to discuss this. Then let's move on to question number 32. Thirty is also similar, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about 30 right now. Question 32. 30, you can use the intercept formula that we had derived, right?
Mm.
Intercept on the x-axis was this,
Yeah, it's a direct.
Correct.
and intercept on the y-axis is this. So let's do question 32, which is y is equal to mx is the equation of a chord of a circle. Mx is the equation of a chord of a circle whose radius is a, whose radius is a. The origin of coordinates, origin 0 0 is one extremity of a chord, one extremity of the chord, and the axis of x, the axis of x being a diameter of the circle, being a diameter of the circle. Okay. Prove that the equation of the circle of which this chord is the diameter. Okay. This is the information given earlier. Then the question is prove that equation of the circle. This is not the same circle, by the way,
Yeah.
of which this chord is a diameter. This chord is a diameter.
Mm.
Is something, is that long equation. So basically you have to find equation of a circle whose diameter is this particular chord, y is equal to mx, right?
Yeah.
So
With one extremity that.
one extremity is 0 0, because
So
this
we,
chord is one extremity of this chord is what, 0 0.
yeah, so we can do something with this.
You have to
So
find the other extremity.
yeah,
You have to find the other point. If you can find the other point, then you can write diametric form, right?
it's easy only, I guess. It's just simple equation 2-point form.
So you have to find the other point by this stuff.
Yeah.
What is the idea now here? This is the figure for the first circle. See, radius is given, no? And axis of x is a diameter. So this is the diameter. So center lies here, no?
Yeah.
And this is a point on the circle. So this point has to be 2a comma 0, right?
Correct.
And center has to be a comma 0.
Yeah.
So now you can find this point.
Yeah, we can.
This is 90 degree. So, or you can solve it also and find. So circle equation should be x minus a whole square plus y square is equal to a square, right?
Yeah.
And y is equal to mx is a chord, so you can solve the circle and the chord.
Yeah.
X minus a whole square plus m square x square is equal to a square. So this becomes x square minus 2ax plus m square x square is equal to 0. So x square 1 plus m square is equal to 2ax. So x is equal to 2a by 1 plus m square, right? And therefore y is equal to 2am by 1 plus m square. So you have found the point x and x comma y for p. It is 2a by 1 plus m square comma 2am by 1 plus m square.
Yeah.
And now diametric form on this point. Now you have to find another circle whose this chord is a diameter, right?
Yeah.
So diametric form x minus x1 into x minus x2, right?
Yeah.
So x minus 0 into x minus this plus y minus 0 into y minus this is equal to 0.
Yeah, correct.
Correct. So that will be the equation. And you can simplify it and all, and it will come whatever you want to prove. Okay. Understood? No?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this exercise theory is almost done. So let's move on now. You should practice the rest of the stuff, whatever is there, which is new or different.
Yeah.
Okay. Next we come to tangents. Tangents, equation of tangent to a circle. So what is the meaning of tangent first? So meaning of tangent, basically it is a line, a straight line that touches the circle just once, right?
Yeah.
That touches the circle. So touches the circle means cuts the circle at one point, at a single point, right? So generally any line will cut the circle two times, right? So it is such a line that just touches this one, right? This line is called a secant line, and this line is called a tangent line,
Yeah.
right? So there are multiple ways in which you can find, or in which you can understand how to find the equation of a tangent. Okay. Now, what we will see is all the alternative ways, because questions can be framed in different ways. So we will learn multiple equations for the same thing, just like we learned multiple equations for the straight line, right? Because in certain situations, one equation is faster than the other. Correct. So,
Correct.
so here we will talk about first, when is the line y is equal to mx plus c tangent to the circle. We will first take a simple circle, x square plus y square is equal to a square, right? This is a very simple circle, right? 0, 0 is the center and a is the radius, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So this is the first version of the problem that we'll think about. When is the line? So what is the condition that this line is tangent to the circle, right? Then the second thing that we will see is what is the equation of the tangent to the circle x square plus y square is equal to a square at the point x1 comma y1. So now here what are we talking about? We are saying that at a particular point, what is the equation of the tangent line, right? This is a particular point on the circle, right? Any point on the circle, you can draw a tangent line. These are all possible tangent lines are there, right? So all the equations of all the tangent lines for any point lying on the circle, right? Notice that there is a slight difference between this form and this form. Here the line was specified, right? And you were trying to find what is the condition that the line touches the circle, right?
Correct.
Here a point is specified. The point on the circle is specified, right? And you are trying to find the line equation. You understand?
Yeah.
The same question can be framed for a general circle also. So what is the condition that, what is the equation of the tangent to this circle at x1 comma y1, right? Okay. So these are the two major questions. Actually, this will be a third question. This is the third question, but it is similar to second question, right?
Yeah.
So these are the 2-3 things that we'll look at right now. So first thing, so what is the, when is the line y is equal to mx plus c tangent to x square plus y square is equal to a square, right?
Yeah.
So we will do it in two ways. One is the algebraic way and one is the geometric way. In different situations, it might be better to do it by geometry and sometimes it is better to do it by algebra. So what is the logic here? Let's draw the circle and we have an arbitrary line and let's say the line is tangent to the circle, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Line is tangent to the circle. So algebraic solution. Algebraic solution is try to solve this line with this circle, right? Correct.
Yeah.
When you put y is equal to this and try to solve for x, you should get only one root, right? You should get equal roots in that quadratic. X square plus mx plus c whole square is equal to a square, right? So you'll get 1 plus m square x square plus 2mcx plus c square minus a square is equal to 0. This is my quadratic.
Yeah.
Sir, I didn't understand this equation.
What?
I didn't understand this equation.
You didn't understand what?
X square plus mx plus c whole square. How did the equation come?
You're trying to solve the line with the circle, no?
Oh, okay, yeah, got it.
To find the point where it touches.
Right.
Point of tangency. Right?
Correct.
So you'll put this in this, no?
Yeah.
You should get this equation. Now notice that this quadratic in x cannot have two roots, two distinct roots it cannot have. If it had two distinct roots, it would have been a secant line. Right?
Yeah.
It has to have equal roots, right? So discriminant should be 0, one root only, right? Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the condition there? B square 4m square c square minus 4 into c square minus a square into 1 plus m square is equal to 0, right? So this becomes minus 4 c square m square minus 4 c square plus 4 a square minus plus 4 a square and plus 4 a square m square, right? And this is 4 m square c square. This cancels, is equal to 0, right? Correct? So you'll get the condition c square is equal to a square 1 plus m square, right?
Yeah.
C is equal to plus minus A root over 1 plus m square, right? For this condition.
Right.
So what you are saying is that if you know the equation of the circle, then line must be of the form y is equal to mx plus minus a root over 1 plus m square. Correct? Is the tangent with slope m. Try to understand what is happening here. There is a line. It is tangent to the circle only if it is angled at a certain angle, no?
Correct.
If it is angled at a bad angle, it will not be tangent, right?
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
So basically, suppose slope is also given, right? Suppose slope is given, then your C value must be this, right? C value is fixed.
Correct.
But there are two tangents possible. One
Yeah.
has a different C value and one has a different C value, right?
Correct.
Correct? There are two tangents possible from somewhere else, right? Somewhere outside the circle, right? So here what we are doing is we are solving the line with the circle and then noting that the quadratic there has to have discriminant equal to 0. And from there we are getting this condition, right?
Yeah.
So this is one way to do it. And here the equation of the tangent is given in terms of the slope of the line. So the question can be like this. I have given you the circle equation and I'm asking you find a tangent with slope tangent to the circle with slope m is equal to half. Correct? So I will just say y is equal to mx plus minus a root over 1 plus m square is the equation. So in this case, it will be half x plus minus a root over 5 by 4. Correct?
Correct.
Now, see, what are the two tangents that are possible? One tangent like this and one parallel tangent like this, no? With the same m half.
Yeah.
Correct? Always there are two
Yes.
tangents with the same same slope, right? So
Yeah.
these are the two equations that you have found. Okay. But you need to remember this form for it to be useful. You need to remember that c square has to be equal to a square into 1 plus m square. Correct?
Yeah.
There are two possible such equations that will come, right? Now, we'll do the same thing using geometry. Y is equal to mx plus c, x square plus y square is equal to a square, right? Now, if this line is tangent to the circle, then one thing that I know for sure is that distance of perpendicular distance from the center to the tangent should be equal to the radius, no?
Correct.
Perpendicular from center to tangent line, right, should be equal to radius of the circle.
Correct.
Then only it touches. If perpendicular is bigger, then it is outside, right? If perpendicular is lesser, right, then it
Yeah.
is inside, right?
Yes.
So center of this circle is 0 comma 0. Why don't we just simply find the length of perpendicular from 0 comma 0 to this, right? That will be
Yeah.
c by root over 1 plus m square mod c, right,
Correct.
is equal to a. So directly you get the condition.
Right.
So c is equal to plus minus this.
Yeah. Correct.
So no need to solve an equation and get discriminant and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
right? So that is why this geometric thing is better in most cases. Sometimes it is not as good, but you understand here, right?
Yeah.
If the distance from the center to the line is greater than A, then does not cut.
Yeah.
If distance is less than A, it is a secant line,
Correct.
right? So we have gotten the same condition in both cases. So my equation of the tangent becomes mx plus minus a root over 1 plus n square, right?
Yeah.
And these are all tangents with a given slope, right? Slope was given to you, and you are finding condition on C so that it is tangent, correct?
Yeah.
So this was the first question. Question number 2 was, suppose the circle equation is given, right? And I have a point P on the circle, which is x1 comma y1 on the circle. Now equation of tangent through P. Equation of tangent through P I have to find. Correct? So now this is the part where uh, you need to use your understanding of calculus. If there is a y is equal to fx curve, then what is the slope of the tangent at this point? Dy by dx. Dy by dx at x1 comma y1 is the slope of tangent at x1 comma y1, right?
Yes.
Do you understand this?
Yes.
We have done all of this in calculus, no?
Yeah.
So suppose you have a point here, right? Let's find slope of the circle at x1 comma y1, right?
Yeah.
Let's find that slope, no?
Yeah.
So 2x plus 2y dy by dx is equal to 0 because a is a constant.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Differentiating it,
Yeah.
so this will become dy by dx is minus x by y, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
At a particular point, which is the point? X1 comma y1 dy by dx is equal to minus x1 by y1, right?
Yes.
So equation of the line through the point with a certain slope is obvious. Y minus y1 is equal to minus x1 by y1 x minus x1, right?
Correct.
So this can be written as y1 minus y1 square is equal to minus x1 plus x1 square, right?
Yeah.
So it comes this side, it becomes x1 plus y1 is equal to x1 square plus y1 square, right?
Yeah.
But we know that x1 y1 lies on the circle. So x1 square plus y1 square is equal to a square, right? So the equation becomes x1 plus y1 is equal to a square.
Yes.
So what we have found is equation of tangent to the circle at any point x1 y1, tangent to this circle will be this, right? Correct.
Correct. Correct.
But this is tangent at a particular point. It is not tangent with a given slope, right? Here point was specified, right?
Yeah.
The line
Correct.
equation was not being specified. No, line slope was not given. You were asked to find the line here, right?
Correct.
How did we do it? We did differentiation to find slope of the curve at this point, which is minus x1 by y1. And then we said line through this point with this slope is the tangent line. And at the last step, we noted that x1 square plus y1 square should be equal to a square because this lies on the circle.
Correct.
So now suppose you have a circle like this. Correct? This is my circle and a point on this circle is x1 comma y1. Find the equation of the tangent, right? This is the question. Tangent at P. At P. This is P. Correct? So again, we'll approach it by the calculus method. So we'll say slope of the line through P, that is the only thing we need. Equation will be this. We need M, right?
Yeah.
And M will come from dy by dx at this point, right? So
Yeah.
2x plus 2y dy by dx plus 2g plus 2f dy by dx is equal to 0, right? So dy by dx is equal to minus 2x minus 2g by 2y plus 2f. So that is minus x minus g by y plus f. But at the particular point x1, y1, it will be minus x1 minus g by y1 plus f, right?
Yeah.
So equation of the tangent becomes y minus y1 is equal to minus of x1 plus g by y1 plus f into x minus x1. So multiplying it, y1 minus y1 square plus fy minus fy1 is equal to minus x1 plus x1 square minus gx and plus gx1, right? Correct. So simplifying it a little bit, x1 plus y1 plus gx plus xx1 gx and xx1 came this side and plus fy f plus fy minus fy1 is there. Minus fy1 is correct, no? Yeah. Minus fy1. So which terms have we written? We have written this, we have written this, we have written this. xx1 gx1 we have not yet written, minus gx1 minus x1 square minus y1 square is equal to 0, right? This is what is coming, no?
Yeah.
Now we'll simplify it a little more. What is x1 y1 is lying on the circle, no? So we have x1 square plus y1 square plus 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus c is equal to 0, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So x1 square plus y1 square can be written as minus c. So we can write 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus c is equal to minus x1 square minus y1 square, no?
Correct.
So instead of this, I will write 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus c is equal to 0. And see, there is a minus f y1 and minus g x1, right? So that cancels and cancels, and this becomes 2 goes away, right? Correct?
Correct.
So the equation will become xx1 plus y1 plus gx plus x1 plus fy plus y1 gx plus x1 plus fy plus y1 plus c is equal to 0, right?
Right.
This is my equation that is coming. Now, obviously, it looks very weird and all, so big and all, right? But there is a nice logic to it now. Now see this. X square plus y square is equal to a square was my circle. And here circle was what? X square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0, right?
Right.
My point was x1 comma y1, right? And equation of the circle here came out to be x1 plus y1 is equal to a square. And equation of the circle here came out to be x1 plus y1 plus g x plus x1 plus f y plus y1 plus c is equal to 0, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. So now what we will know here, what we will notice here is that this is a general rule for 2-degree curves. Okay. Let's say we have a 2-degree curve like this, like this. The most general 2-degree curve possible, right? This is a curve. Here,
Yeah.
if I want tangent to the curve, if I want tangent to this curve at a particular point, right? At a point p x1 comma y1, right? Okay, you should write this down. So if I want tangent to this 2-degree curve at a particular point x1 comma y1, this is applicable for all curves, straight, circle, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola. Okay. Then all I have to do is replace x square is replaced by xx1, y square is replaced by y1, 2x is replaced by x plus x1, 2y is replaced by y plus y1,
Yeah.
xy, 2xy is replaced by xy1 plus x1y. These 5 things you need to remember. Okay. So now notice that here x square was replaced by, correct?
Yeah.
Constant term is left untouched. Okay. So this was the tangent equation, right?
Yes.
Both cases. See here, x square is replaced by xx1, y square is replaced by y1.
Correct.
2x was replaced by x plus x1. Okay.
Yeah.
2y was replaced by y plus y1 and c was left untouched.
Yeah.
And this will be valid for all equations. So for example, if I had a parabola, right? Correct. And a point on this parabola is 1 comma 2, right? 1 comma 2 is satisfying this, no? Now equation of the parabola, this is my x1, this is my y1, right?
Right.
Equation of tangent at 1 comma 2 to this parabola will be y1 is equal to 2 times x plus x1. So it will be y into 2 is equal to 2 times x plus 1. So that implies 2y is equal to 2x plus 2, or simply y is equal to x plus 1. Now how do we verify it? Just put y is equal to x plus 1 here. X plus 1 whole square is equal to 4x, right? So x square plus 4x, x plus 1 whole square. So x square plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 4x. Notice that it is a perfect square. It is a tangent.
It is.
No?
Yeah.
If it had 2 different roots, it would have been a secant line, right?
Yeah.
The same thing will be applicable for whatever 2-degree curves you have. Okay. So that is a very powerful thing, because now given any point, I can immediately write tangent without even thinking. Like I just know how to replace stuff, right? So if I give you a circle right now, x square plus y square minus 3x plus 5y plus 10 is equal to 0, right? Tangent to this circle at a certain point will be just simply x1 plus y1 minus 3 into, be careful here, 2x has to be replaced by x plus x1. So I will do this, right?
Correct. Correct.
That's it. Equation of tangent is done. equation of tangent at x1 comma y1. Okay. Now, how has it come? It has come by the derivatives. We already derived it. We already derived it for the general circle, right? Correct. We already derived it. So for circles, you don't have to worry. The only slightly weird term here is for the xy term. This term is slightly weird. 2xy has to be replaced by x1y plus xy1. This has to be xx1 plus byy1 plus gx plus x1 plus fy plus y1 plus c is equal to 0. Okay.
Got it.
So this is the tangent to a circle at a particular point. Tangent to a circle at a particular point. That is what we have figured out right now. Particular point is given, then tangent equation is easy if the circle equation is known. What we did earlier was when condition that a line is tangent to a circle, that a particular line equation is given, right? Correct.
Right.
Particular line is tangent to a circle.
Yeah.
And we saw there that if the circle was simple like this, then y is equal to mx plus c square should be simply a square into 1 plus m square, right? But what happens if the circle is not simple? If the circle was this, right? And the line was this. Now you will realize that the algebraic solution is too long, okay? Don't even try it. When will this be tangent, right? Do the geometric solution. When will it be tangent, right? How do you do the geometric solution? You take, what is the center of the circle? I know stuff. I know minus g comma minus f, right?
Yeah.
What is the radius of the circle? I know the value of radius is this, right?
Yeah.
I will drop a perpendicular from center to this line, right?
Yeah.
So how do I drop a perpendicular? I first write it in this way and then I start putting. So length of perpendicular will be minus f minus m into minus g minus c mod root over 1 plus m square should be equal to root over g square plus f square minus c, right?
Yeah.
Now, if there were numbers here, this calculation could have been done. This is the correct condition. Obviously, if there are symbols and all, it will be very long and messy, but you don't need to care about that. If there are numbers there, square it and it will come as something, right?
Correct.
In case it was a simple circle, we already know it is very easy. C square is equal to a square 1 plus m square, right? If it was a slightly complicated general circle, in that case, what is the condition for tangency, right? Everybody is understanding?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically now what we have done is article numbers, all the articles till 152 is done. So let's look at 153. See, 153 is also done. 154, 154 we should do, which is very obvious, but we'll quickly just refer to it. Article 154. He's saying a length of the chord intercepted by a circle on a straight line. Length of the chord intercepted by the circle. Which circle is he taking? He is taking a simple circle. X square plus y square is equal to a square, right? x square plus y square is equal to a square on the line y is equal to mx plus c, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So see, there is a line which is a chord, right? Y is equal to mx plus c, and this is my circle. X square plus y square is equal to a square. I want to find length of the chord. Okay. Now, obviously, length of the chord can be found by finding point P and Q, but we will not do such things. What we will try to do is do it slightly intelligently, right? So, P and Q, the length of this P and Q we need, right? So, there are two ways to do it. If this is a circle like this, right? There are two ways to do it. One way is by homogenization. If you homogenize, you will get the equation of this line pair, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Correct? Homogenize by
Correct.
doing y minus mx by c is equal to 1, right?
Correct.
And replacing it as squares and all. So you'll get equation of OP and OQ.
Yeah.
The reason homogenization works is because the center of the circle is 0, 0. Right?
Yeah.
Correct. So then
Correct.
you can find angle between this, no? By looking at the
Yes.
homogenized equation, I can say tan theta between the line pair will be 2 times root over h square minus ab by a plus b.
Yeah.
Correct? Because that is the that is the angle between the two line pairs, homogeneous line pair, no?
Yeah.
This we have done last class, right?
Right.
Okay. So then radius is a and a, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now tan theta is known. So opposite side we can find, no?
Correct.
We can.
Right? Opposite side we can find by geometry. You can just do cosine rule simply. Cos of theta should be equal to a square plus a square minus pq square by 2a square, right? So pq
Yeah.
square will be equal to 2a square. 2a square minus pq square is 2a square cos theta. So pq square is 2a square 1 minus cos theta, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So pq is equal to root of root 2 1 minus cos theta into a, right? 1 minus cos theta, I feel like we can simplify in a nice way, but maybe I'm wrong. Fine, just find, you'll have to find it. Some values will come, right?
Cos
Correct.
theta is 2 cos square theta.
That only. Right. 2 cos square theta by 2, no?
Yeah.
1 minus,
1 minus cos 2 theta by 2 is
no. 1 minus cos theta is 2 minus 2 sine square theta by 2, no? Cos square theta by 2 plus sine square theta by 2 minus cos square theta by 2 plus 2 sine square theta by 2, right?
Correct.
So it becomes 2 sine theta by 2 into a, right? So PQ is equal to 2a sine theta by 2, right? So if you can find tan theta here, from tan theta you can find sine theta by 2. Tan theta is equal to I mean, there is an identity, I remember, 2 sine. Okay, actually it's the opposite identity, sine theta in terms of that, no? I mean, this might not be the best way, but if the angles are nice, it is going to be obvious, right?
Right.
Correct. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it might be a little problematic. You can find from tan theta, you can find sin theta by 2, obviously. Because
Yeah, we can.
you can find tan theta by 2 first, no?
Yeah.
Find tan theta by 2 first and then do it. Right?
Be long.
But the other way is, suppose it's like this, y is equal to mx plus c, and this is x square plus y square is equal to a square. Then what you can do is, this will be p and this will be q, and this will be x1 comma y1 and this will be x2 comma y2, right? Ultimately, you have to find distance of pq is equal to root over x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, right? Correct. But x1 and x2 and x1 y1 and x2 y2 both lie on this line, right? So you have y1 is equal to mx1 plus c and y2 is equal to mx2 plus c, right? So y2 minus
Yeah.
y1 is equal to m times x2 minus x1, right?
Correct.
So you have, this one will become y2 minus y1 whole square will be m square into x2 minus x1 whole square. So this is simply x2 minus x1 root over 1 plus m square, right? Correct? Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
From here. So
Yes.
now you just need to solve for difference of the roots. So put y is equal to this in this, x square plus mx plus c whole square is equal to a square. Equation becomes 1 plus m square x square plus 2cmx plus c square minus a square is equal to 0. And sum of the roots, x1 plus x2 is equal to 2cm by 1 plus m square minus, and x1 x2 is equal to c square minus a square by 1 plus m square. So you can find x1 minus x2 as 4c square m square by 1 plus m square whole square minus 4 times c square minus a square by 1 plus m square whole square, right? And root of that,
Correct.
right? So this becomes 2 by 1 plus m square outside and root over c square m square minus c square minus a square, right?
Right.
Correct. And
Yeah.
2 by 1 plus m square and multiply it by this, so this will become root over 1 plus m square, and this cancels and you'll get the answer basically, right? We are not really finding the points, we are using the quadratic to find the difference of x2 minus x1, right?
Yeah.
And once you have x2 minus x1, you have y2 minus y1 from here.
Yeah.
So this is 154. 155 we have already discussed. After that, all of this we have discussed. Normal we have not yet discussed. So normal we'll quickly discuss, and that will be the thing for this. 150, that is article 159. Okay. Article 159, normal. So suppose there is a circle, and suppose at a particular point you have a tangent line, right? This is the point x1 comma y1. Normal is basically the line perpendicular to the tangent. So basically it will pass through the circle center, no?
Yeah.
So normal is defined as any line perpendicular to a tangent for a curve, right? So wherever you are on the curve, you can draw a tangent line. The line perpendicular to the tangent is called normal. Okay. So equation of normal is y minus y1 is equal to m of normal into x minus x1, right? And m of normal is equal to minus 1 by m of tangent, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Because normal line has to be perpendicular to tangent line.
It is this.
So this becomes y minus y1 is equal to minus 1 by m tangent x minus x1. In the case of the circle, tangent slope dy by dx had come out as minus x1 by y1, right?
Yeah.
So slope of normal will be y1 by x1 into x minus x1, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So this is the equation of normal, for a circle, right? Clearly, you will notice that this will become yx1 minus yx1 minus x1 y1 is equal to y1x minus x1 y1. So see, x1 y1 x1 y1 cancels, no?
Yeah.
So you will get y is equal to y1 by x1 into x, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, it is of the form y is equal to mx. It passes through the origin because in this case, normal had to pass through 0, 0, which was the center of the circle, right?
Correct.
If the normal is for a general circle whose center is not at 0, 0, it will have some more terms here,
Yeah.
right? Equation of normal you don't need to memorize at all. Never try to memorize it, at least for circles. You should just do, wherever you have to find normal, you just do y minus y1 is equal to slope of normal x minus x1, and slope of normal will be minus 1 by slope of tangent, and tangent stuff you need to know.
Yeah.
So once you know tangent, normal should be automatically very easy. You don't have to memorize any special equations for it. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
So there is some equations given here, but don't try to memorize them. Just do it every time whenever needed. So then now we have come to basically the end of this exercise. Now this exercise 18. So basically now work is exercise 17 and exercise 18. Okay. So we have come till article 159 is done. So we have to go, we discussed last class, we have to go till article 187 or something, right? And we have to exclude 175, 176, 177.
Yeah.
So almost like half the stuff is done, but actually the more interesting stuff is left. This was the trivial stuff. What we have done today is the easy stuff, which will be obvious, but now there will be some new things. Chord of contact, pole and polar, interesting things will come now. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood and practice this part, exercise 17, 18 and all. We will probably need 2-3 classes for this, for circles completely. 2 classes guaranteed, maybe 3. Okay, so we should be done by some early October and all. Okay, that's it for the now then. Do you have some questions? You were saying you had some question.
That was the talk thing only.
You were asking me something, no? Some rotation stuff.
Yeah, that was the talk thing only.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Tomorrow we can actually have the class. It's fine. In the morning, my thing got moved, so tomorrow morning we'll have the class. If not 9, at 9:30 for sure. 9:30 is fine, no?
Yeah.
Okay. If I am up, then we'll have it at 9 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, see you tomorrow. We'll do physics rotation. Okay. Yeah, that's it then.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Do this SL part, okay? I mean, before next week's class, do as much as you can. Wednesday, you have only very limited time though. But I mean, your test and all should not be too much of a worry. Like, I hope. Next week's class will be on Friday evening. No? Okay, you have Wednesday, Thursday and Friday you have.
No.
But read up a little bit. No, this is new stuff. This is more interesting than the old SL same things.
Right. Very good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Hmm.